Hi everyone. We are really honored to present you our project for Tunisia. As he said, my name is Wissal. I'm from the National School of Tunis, and I had the pleasure to share to share and to collaborate on this project with Elias from the presidents of the government, Tunisian government. Mohammed from Fab Lab Mahdiya, and Anis, my colleague from the National Engineering School of Tunis. We are out of time, so I'll skip this slide and get straight to Tunisia and what's going on in Tunisia in terms of innovation and NPR. So as you can see, there is really an ecosystem encouraging innovation in Tunisia. And there's also many initiatives, programs, also to encourage entrepreneurship. In terms of NPR, the term doesn't exist yet in Tunisia. We go to work on it, but instead we use more Industry 4.0. And there are also a wide variety of initiatives, programs, events around Industry 4.0. We would like also to share with you an interesting facts, statistics about digitalization in Tunisia. So as I was telling, just interesting statistics. In Tunisia, we are 11.6 million inhabitants, and as you can see, almost 70% of the population have access to internet. And about like 60% are using mobile internet. Another interesting fact that we have more mobile private lines than people in Tunisia. There are like 50% of the Tunisian has like access to mobile lines. So despite all these programs, incentives, and so on, we are not there yet. In terms of output, as you can see, we are not performing well in terms of unemployment, especially youth unemployment. Another alarming fact is the number of patents registered in Tunisia. Last year, only 555 patents were registered, and the 2/3 of these patents are from non-resident, which is like alarming. Another weakness of the Tunisian ecosystem is like the misfit between the industry needs in terms of labor market and the profiles that are available in this market. And the main reason why we are performing not so greatly in terms of patents and research, it's because there is a problem between, not a problem, like a gap between the industry and the university is one of the reasons. That's why we come up of a project of an NPR hub, and the aim of this hub is to connect in a different way university to the industry, and we are focusing on four main elements that are education, research, training, and networking. So as a starting point, for obvious reason, we thought of the National Engineering School of Tunis to implement this first NPR hub. And why this school? Also because there is already an infrastructure ready to host this lab. We are going to build on already existing elements and even suggest to create new ones. So let's take you through this platform, this hub. We have departments, 5 departments in this school. They are have expertise, they have partnership with universities, but there is a missing point here. A problem is there is a lack of cross collaboration between the departments in our school. We make collaboration, but any department has his own like expertise and collaboration. And the next production revolution requires mixed profile and interdisciplinary collaboration. So that's our recommendation, and the department will be really an important stakeholders if we want to implement this hub at the National Engineering School of Tunis. We have 9 specialties, 3 professional masters, and we have different co-degrees, especially with French schools. Okay, so okay, we deliver great like education, learning. We are from like the best engineering school of Tunis, but it's not enough. We need to have more oriented and courses on NPR. Our aim is to provide the industry with an engineer 4.0 profile. We are now starting to implement even a course of introduction to NPR in a Master of Innovation that we have in our school. Another recommendation is to collaborate maybe for other co-degrees, and this time from with our Italian partners of Polimi and Polito. Another important element of our education is to focus more and to foster entrepreneurship among our students who have technical profile. They want to have a job, but they need also to think of starting their own business. Another suggestion is to implement more courses in English. The other important pillar of this hub is research. The different labs, research units at ENI, the National Engineering School of Tunis, are working on really very interesting projects that are in line with SDGs and the next production revolution. But still we need to have more collaborative and most importantly, patentable research projects that had national impacts. We really appreciated last week when we had the TTO of Polimi, the technology transfer office of Polimi. They have an interesting business model that we can discuss to implement it. Yesterday we discovered another also interesting business model at Polito with their interdepartmental centers. Another interesting challenge that the TTO of Polimi is providing is a challenge focusing on researcher. We have a challenge more focused on engineer. It would be great to involve our researchers in this kind of challenge so they can present their projects, patent them, and even start gaining money with them. Now, when you have a hub, we need also, in our hub, we have the idea also, as I mentioned before, to foster entrepreneurial skills. And with that, we'll be having a space and a training program in order to support our students who are interested in running then startups, and even for other young startups. Okay, the good news is that we just received the funds. Our career center is managing this project, and now we are implementing a co-working space. So we are under construction. It's really literally under construction, and it will be a space to host these young startups and for networking as well. We see further that networking is important part of our hub. So the aim of this co-working space and our training and mentorship program is to serve students for their career and also business if they want to provide vocational training, but also to support all NPR innovative oriented startups. Our Fab Lab in it also is a space that is interesting for students, startups, and SMEs to have access to 3D technologies and prototyping their products as well. But here we need maybe a new business model. Our Fab Lab is collaborating with like small research projects, some collaboration with companies, but we need a bigger, a new business model to have this Fab Lab really collaborate with the industry and maybe even like having new machines. It would be great. So we are impressed by our visit to IAM Lab at Polito. And the Fab Lab would not be sufficient. And here is the challenging part of this hub. We want to create an industry lab 4.0 like the one we've seen here at Polyme, but it will be like customized for our department research need and for Tunisian needs. This is the missing part and the most challenging, and we'll be needing fundings for this part. It would be important to have this lab. Why? First of all, to provide hands-on learning, to serve research purpose as well, to collaborate with the industry, with the SMEs, and finally, a new technology transfer strategy. Why? Because actually we have a TT office in our university. The problem is they are sleeping. It's like there's nothing happening there. And we've seen during this week the importance of having a strong TT strategy. That's why maybe we could partner up with our colleague here from Polyme in order to develop a new business model for the TT office of our university. Now, the business model of this project. It's an ambitious project, but we need the support of key stakeholders. Just before, okay, the targets of this project obviously are students, startups, and researchers and SMEs. And as I mentioned, we need the support of key stakeholders from the public sector, academia, technical center, policy makers, from the private as well, the industry, SMEs, and incubators. We will be needing also international partners and other partners from the civil society. So, the cost structure of this project. I think the most challenging is the lab, because it's like we'll need the strong fundings. Other costs will become from the staff, the conferences and the event that we aim to implement, our marketing strategy. So now, how to make this project sustainable and not counting only on funding. We mentioned the training. The training program will not only aim to help the student in order to have to complete their education, but we also will have a training program dedicated to executives and professionals, so we can have money from that, from research, and from our collaboration with the industry. So we are going to promote NPR and this project in Tunisia through different channels. We'll be attending and participating to events and conferences, and even have our own events. And we'll have also, we'll use the media, the local media, to talk about NPR in Tunisia initiative and what we are doing in our hub. And networking and public relations is really important. We see big, and we now thinking with Mohammed of implementing and replicating this hub in another region of Tunisia. It's Mahdia, with another ecosystem, other actors involving a technical school this time. Finally, our agenda timeline, 5 important elements. First of all, we'll start presenting this hub to the stakeholders, so internal stakeholders at our school, but also outside, civil society, policymaker, SMEs, and so on. After gathering suggestions and having their feedback, it's also important to think about governance and to check who will be involved in managing this this hub. A committee, maybe like the advisory board you are having in this project. For this project, African Innovation Leader, there is the country visit that it's part of our program, and we'll use this country visit in April, which fit at the same time with the challenge, innovation challenge that we have every year at the National Engineering School of Tunis, which is Innovation Week. This year, the Innovation Week will be around NPR and challenge, but it will be NPR oriented. Then we'll maybe have a cleanest version of this project with the feedback, and we hope, starting from September 2019, to start implementing this hub. Thank you for the attention.